Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 breakdown of House of the Dragon. Prompt 2 live tonight. Thought I would just jump on and get my thoughts out there for the episode and get past this week onto the next. Busy day tomorrow and a busy day Wednesday as well. We've got another live coming up. We're going to have a special guest talking with some friends. So stay tuned for that. I'll let everybody know at the end of this stream where you can find that information. Anthony Blaze, hello my friend. Poppy Missouri. Hey, dude. So, yeah, what I want to say is what an episode, guys. Like, every character made a catastrophic bad decision in this episode. Now, if everybody in the chat has seen it, definitely let me know, because we are going to be talking about it today. Like, Daemon and Rhaenyra fondled in the dark. We had Rhaenyra had sex with Criston Cole. Viserys banished Daemon and he fired Otto. Alicent confronted Rhaenyra and she lied to her. The whole moon tea drink at the end, like, we're going to get into it, guys. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Nadia. Hi Nadia, how you doing? I didn't see you there. Oh, there's my Nightbot telling Nadia not to spam. Sorry Nadia, I didn't set that up. Let's bring in Charles, shall we, my guest? So Charles is Poppy Missouri in America. He has recently just hit 1,000 subscribers, and we are going to be celebrating real soon with him. So I know we'll get information from him later about what he's got coming up. Gilbert Patan, hello, my friend. How are you doing? But yeah, without further ado, let's bring on my guest.
Hey guys,
hey, Charles.
What's up, Brian?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am. I'm wonderful. Kind of still on a high from the episode. I mean, I watched it yesterday, but I'm still on that high. And
everything was shaken up that episode.
Yeah. A couple things you can kind of see going to happen, and then other things were just like out there in left field and they happen. You know, Not reading the book, I don't know. So yeah, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I do apologize to anybody in the chat. The Nightbot has its own mind. I must have set it up a long time ago and forgot the things that I did when I set it up. So I will go and fix it at some point. So yeah, Charles, initial thoughts on the episode. What did you think?
Amazing. Just awesome. Would have liked more battle, but that's coming up. So it was a pretty clean episode. Let's put it that way.
I wouldn't say clean at all.
In one way or the other, yeah.
So again, you haven't seen Game of Thrones. I think you've seen the first season, right?
The first season and about half of the second, and
okay,
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I understand. So with this episode being prominently quite a sexual episode, more than an action episode.
Yeah.
Did that shock you? Like, you've seen season 1 of Game of Thrones, so you did see a bit of nudity, a little bit of sex. Did it shock you?
Not really, because we actually saw some in episode 1 as well. Not as much, of course, but they're humans. That stuff happens. So it's got to.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Okay. No, I was wondering whether it would like put people off, whether people would be a bit like, whoa. But for me, it cements it as this is Game of Thrones what we're watching. Like, it might be House of the Dragon, but it's still Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did write something down if I can find it. I said everything was shaken up in this episode. This episode made me feel like a true Game of Thrones episode. We had backstabbing, betrayals, marriage alliances, revenge seekers, sex workers, little birds, and everything else that makes Game of Thrones so great.
Yeah.
It had everything in it, And for a guy, if you guys know me and you follow me on YouTube, you'll know that I talk about dragons 24/7. That's all I talk about. People make remarks of how I would like to maybe be in a relationship with a dragon and stuff like that, The donkey did it in Shrek, so I don't see why I can't do it.
Why not? There you go.
But this episode, you only saw one dragon.
Yeah, one dragon.
Maybe two.
Dive bombing the ship.
Dive bombing the ship, and it was Caraxes, Daemon's dragon. Yeah. And I couldn't have been happier, to be honest. I was like, what an episode. So let's get into it. We've been live for almost just coming up to 6 minutes. Hey Ryan, haven't seen the episode yet. Hope you have a great show. Thank you, Simon. I appreciate it.
Hey, Simon.
Thanks for being here. We are just going to get into spoilers as well, so it's probably the best time for you to head out if you haven't seen the episode.
Yeah.
I'm completely fine with people doing that and understanding that that's what people need to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, fine with people doing that and understanding that that's. Let's break down the episode, shall we? So I've got written down here that Rhaenyra opens the show with a display of, like, let's say, she was picking her suitor to marry. Her father told her in the previous episode, choose somebody that you want to choose. I'm not going to make you marry somebody that you don't want to marry. So in the first, we see that at the beginning. I thought it was quite a comical scene. the little boy, he comes up and he's like, hello, little, like, powerful lady. I will protect you in the dark at times and all this. And then it threw at us something that for the book lovers was brilliant, because the dude in the crowd that said something and got annoyed, that's a big chapter in the books. And in the Game of Thrones books, not the House of the Dragon, it's in the Game of Thrones books. So it kind of tied it in a little bit. And that was brilliant. She got up and she left, and then she just left them to sword fight, and they ended up I was shocked that the little boy killed the big dude.
Yeah, that did surprise me.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think on her, like, having to choose her own suitor?
I think it's great. I think it's moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could. It's tradition to do it the old way, and you can see that she's not traditional. She may not show it, but she questions authority, and she does it her own way anyways. So that's what she's gonna do.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Yeah, I got written down here that Rhaenyra opens the show with the showing of turning down possible suitors for a hand in marriage. The black boy kills Bracken boy, or it's so assumed that he kills him because he kind of spits out blood at the end and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then we come to the next scene where Daemon returns as king of the Stepstones. Well, that was a powerful scene.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think that was going to go over too big. I really didn't. And he kind of relinquished it, and said, you are my king, and bowed down to him. But I don't know, it's two-sided. So
it's definitely two-sided.
Yeah.
It's too early for you to pick sides on who you think or who you want to be with at the end. It's definitely going that way. It's definitely going to divide the audience into two sides, maybe even three. There's always options and room for that. So yeah, that scene, I want to talk about that scene a little bit because it was powerful, and Rhaenyra was hiding in the crowd. She didn't want to be seen. I thought that was cool because she didn't know what was going on. She was returning on the ship, wasn't she? And the dragon, she found out that her uncle was home because she's seen the dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know that
she wasn't supposed to be home.
No. Yeah, that scene was given to us in the trailers. The ship and the sea with the dragon, so it kind of clickbaited everybody because when we watched it, we assumed the dragons were attacking the ship, and they weren't really. Yeah. It was just him saying, "Hey, it's me."
Yeah.
So then we'll move on to the next scene. Alicent is jealous, and it seems that she's talking. They're all talking at the Weirwood Tree as a family, and the king is saying to Daemon, you were always loved by my mother more, you were the favourite boy, and all this kind of stuff. And that was because, a little bit of backstory, Daemon was always the feisty one of the two. Daemon was always the adventurous person, and Viserys loved that he was his brother because he got to do the stuff that he wanted to do when he was older, So that's a good callback to book knowledge. So Alicent, I don't know if you noticed, but in episode 3, Alicent was pregnant.
Yeah.
Episode 4, she's not pregnant.
Yeah.
So we have time jumped quite a bit. I did see a couple of people wasn't sure if we had time jumped this episode because it wasn't exactly mentioned, but
Yeah, because she was, like you said, she was pregnant in 3, not in 4. But then the baby was probably only like less
yeah, I thought
than
the baby was. Well, I thought it might have been over a year. It looked like quite a big baby.
Yeah, it might be another 2-year jump, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking about 2-year jump.
That would be pushing it. Is a 2-year jump again?
Yeah, definitely pushing it. Because she seemed like she spoke to her and she mentioned how they were going to go and see some galleries, and Damon said that wasn't for him, and Viserys confirmed that that's definitely not for him. And then she made that statement to Rhaenyra. She's like, Rhaenyra's like, well, I'll go alone then. She didn't want to be with Alicent. You still see that there's rift between the two of them.
Oh yeah.
And then instantly, for some reason, which I didn't agree with the way they told this part of the story, but it was like here she didn't want to be with her, and then she moved to the seat, and it was like it had been forgotten about, and she went and sat next to her and spoke to her.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a bit rushed.
I think in that instinct she was just like, you know what, you're gonna talk to me, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, I'll chase you all around.
She seemed jealous. She seemed jealous that she seemed to be locked into a mothering machine. She's a mothering machine. That's all her duties are. And I feel like she seems jealous of Rhaenyra because Rhaenyra gets to go out and choose who she wants to be with.
And that's what Rhaenyra said. She's like, you know, you're just basically, you got married to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's the truth. I mean, later on in you could see it in her eyes. You know, she's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know. So.
And I kind of feel sorry for Alicent a little bit because her father pushed her into this. Her father made her do this.
Well, there's ulterior motives there, and we all know it. I mean,
yeah, but is there ulterior motives on Alicent's side now that she's a mother and now that she's not a naive teenager? I don't think Alicent has the same designs as her father, and I think we'll find that out coming maybe further down the line.
Yeah. Her father just wants to reign. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think she does. I think she's just like, at this point, she's just, it's going to happen. Oh, well. So.
Mm-hmm. So then moving on to the next scene, we have Otto Hightower, the Hand of the King, telling the king that Corlys Velaryon is thinking of marrying off his son to somebody in the Vale instead of somebody to the Targaryens to strengthen that line. So it would therefore weaken the strength and the bond that they have, because he's gone on his own now. Corlys, he's like, you don't want to marry Rhaenyra to my son, then screw you, you know. And he's kind of taken up the stepstones. They won that with the Daemon's help, and Daemon's gone and give the crown to the king, but all he's doing is saying, hey bro, I'm on your side, but really I might not be because I won the war for the other side, you know.
Exactly. It's a two-sided coin, whichever way you look at it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So what do you think to the pacing of the episode so far? Like, we're 4 episodes in. Do you think that you've seen enough? Do you think it's going too fast?
I don't think it's going too fast, because I watched series like this before where they do time jumps, you know, in from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 episode, and there's been years in between, and it's like you can totally tell the difference. For this one, it just seamlessly rolls into it. You know, they don't make a big deal that it's 4 years later. It's just, you know, we roll into it. So now down the line, there might be a huge jump, and it might be completely different. But so far, I don't think so. I think it's going to kind of just roll seamlessly at a good pace, not too fast, not too slow, just right in the perfect spot.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little bit anxious and nervous for the actress changes when they change, because I'm really, really, really like Alicent and Rhaenyra as the current actresses.
Yeah.
I think they're brilliant young actresses in the show and what they're doing for the show. Like I've always said it, I think I said in episode 1 breakdown that for her to take on the shoes of Daenerys Targaryen and what Emilia Clarke did for that role, and to come in and play the next prominent Targaryen woman, must have been hard to choose.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I think she's pulled it off fantastic. Like, she does have that young look, and I know why they are going to change the actress, because events unfold that she looks a little bit different, you know?
Yep.
So we'll see. So
now
we're going to move on to. Go ahead.
We have one more episode, right?
Yeah, they're going. Yeah, they're going to change in episode 6. I think episode 5 is the last one for the young actresses.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe. So moving through the episode, we find Rhaenyra finds a secret message in her chamber. Now, what did you think to that? What did you think that initially? Who did you think that might have been from?
To be honest with you, I didn't think who it was from. I didn't think that person, but I thought her guard. What's
Criston Cole.
Yeah. Criston Cole, yeah, is who I figured it was from.
You know? Yeah, I thought that at first as well. I thought he was the most obvious person. He's standing outside her room. You know, he could have put that in there.
Yeah.
But well, you know, I paused it on the point where she opens the letter and I wanted to read it, and fortunately I couldn't read it because it was written in Valyrian. So I couldn't read it. And what was really cool as well was it was an added feature to the Game of Thrones lore, because those passages don't exist in Game of Thrones. That passage is not there in Game of Thrones. They've added it in as a storytelling feature in House of the Dragon. So it makes sense as well, because when we get later down the line to Game of Thrones, they could just easily explain that something happened and they were blocked up or something, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just a good little nuance that they added in. So yeah, Rhaenyra finds a secret message, and that secret message is from Daemon, and there's a bag and there's some clothes. Now, I want to ask you, Charles, have you seen Aladdin?
Years ago. So.
Yeah. So did you get the Aladdin vibes when Princess Jasmine sneaks out and goes with Aladdin to walk around?
A little bit, but not.
I got Aladdin vibes all the way up to the brothel, and then it stopped.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, it was crazy.
Now that you're saying it, I probably didn't think Aladdin then, but it makes sense. You know, it fits the role, so I would say probably not. I just thought it was like a teenager sneaking out of the house on a Friday night. You know, Mom and Dad are in bed. It's 11 o'clock. I'm gonna slide out the window, and I'll be back at 7. You know, so.
Yeah, it's just how does a princess do that? You know, that's hard.
But, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I definitely got totally Aladdin vibes. Mentioned that in yesterday's stream. He did. Headless mentioned it yesterday. I was nodding my head in agreement when I was watching along.
Nice.
Hey, welcome in, dude. Thanks for being here. Got some news that we're going to share at the end of this stream regarding Nedla's Head Stark, so definitely stay tuned for that.
Yep.
So the next part that I've got written down on my script is all that fun. Now, it got crazy. Rhaenyra finds the bag of clothes, and it's like street clothes. So she doesn't look like a princess, and she puts these clothes on, and they're all rags, and she goes into the old town to mingle with the commoners. And Daemon takes her to watch a play. Now, I know you haven't seen Game of Thrones, Charles, but in Game of Thrones, this is a prominent thing that happens quite a lot. This play scene. There's a play scene in a couple of seasons for Arya, the character, and it's the way of them showing a character the story that has already happened to the viewer's eyes. Like Arya she sees a play of her father being beheaded in Game of Thrones, and it gives her those feelings, and that's what happened with Rhaenyra. She hears people talking badly about her and belittling her throne claim and all this kind of stuff, and Daemon did that to get her to see that she needs to understand it's about the people outside of the walls of protection that matter.
Exactly.
And that's what I like about Daemon. Everybody thinks that Daemon is just this ruthless character, but really he's a human being who cares. And I think we see that quite a lot of times in this episode.
Yeah.
Give and take, there's some other reasons why things don't happen, but I do genuinely think he cares. What's your initial thought on Daemon? Do you think he's just a bad character? Do you think he's got a heart?
I think he has a heart when it comes to certain things. And I don't know. I think he knows he holds a special place in her heart, for sure, which he does. You can see that. But I also think that he knows that he can kind of manipulate her because of that, personally. And that's just me. But I mean, I think he's a good guy. He seems to do the right thing about half the time, you know. So,
yeah. Do you see him as the star guy in the show? Like, I know he's probably the most well-known actor, but do you see him as like the main character?
No, I don't. Actually,
who do you see as the main character? Rhaenyra?
Between Rhaenyra and Christian Cole.
Okay, you give Kristen Cole possible main character vibes.
Yeah, I think more's gonna be coming there. More's coming for that. And again, never read the books. That's just me. So.
No, I like that. I like that thought process. No, I think it is Rhaenyra that could possibly be pushed down as the main person in the show right now, but I think it could easily split anyway. Like Otto's got a claim to be the main person, you know. But yeah, so still on that section on all that fun. So we just talked about the play and how she found out that they weren't quite happy and they weren't probably going to choose her if it came down to it. And he then takes Rhaenyra to witness some extraordinary activities under the moonlight. So yeah, you know, guys, it's an adult show, so that we're just going to talk about it. We've seen boobs and we've seen men's penises and women's bits and vaginas. We've seen all sorts, and it was everything. It didn't hold back.
No,
and I loved it for that reason, because I like watching shows that are for adults, not shows that, like, no offense to anybody that watches anime, but I struggle with cartoon styled shows because I grew up watching cartoons and I associate them with my childhood, and I can't break that mental block to watch an adult show that's looking like a child show. I can't watch Simpsons. I struggle with Family Guy, and that's why I love the things like Game of Thrones and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it felt like he was seducing her from the moment we went in there. I didn't see it coming. I didn't think he was going to do anything with her. I just thought he was going to lead her through and show her, look, this is the kind of stuff I enjoy, and then maybe we'll go back to it in a future episode. What did you think?
From the get-go, I was like, okay, this is getting interesting. And just the way he was acting, I was like, okay, something's going to happen here. And then when it did, I was like, oh, crap. Wow, okay. Milky called this last week or 3 weeks ago. Milky called it. And then it was like she was getting really into it, and then all of a sudden something clicked in him, I think. And he was like, okay, never mind, and just left. And what is that clicked in his head? Who knows?
I actually do know. And the after the show spoiler thing, they do tell you why he pushed back. So I will give you the option now, Charles. Would you like to know the information as to why he pulled back?
Sure.
Impotence.
I kind of had a feeling.
So in the first episode, we see him sleeping with Mysario, and he struggled to climax then.
Yeah.
So they've sown that seed since the first episode.
Yeah. I figured there was something, and that was one of my picks, on my draft board. So yeah.
So what we will do in the future episodes, guys, because Charles will be with us quite regularly, I will give Charles the option as to whether he would like to know anything that is revealed in the after show. I will give Charles that option, and then Charles can decide for the viewing public and for everybody watching at home whether we find that information out from myself, because I do watch them sometimes, and if I don't watch them directly after the show, I do know about it 3 hours later anyway, because I watch content on YouTube that surrounds House of the Dragon all day, every day. So it's unfortunately, I can't avoid it myself, and I've read the books, so I know what's going on, and I'm currently listening to the audiobook every single night when I go to bed. So my life is House of the Dragon. But hey, guys, I've only been talking about Game of Thrones since the day you guys met me on YouTube. One of my first YouTube videos is me opening a Game of Thrones Funko Pop. I've been a lover and devout follower of this show since the day it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely foreshadowed in episode 1. Said Headless Ned Stark. And anybody in the chat that's watching, Headless Ned Stark's a great channel, great dude. Please subscribe to his channel.
Yes.
Definitely. I am going to make him a moderator right now so that he can drop his own channel link. There you go, buddy.
Nice.
So yeah, so what happened is basically they were kissing down there, and she was getting into it, and she was liking it, and stuff was happening. Her trousers had been removed, and I was enjoying it. I'm not going to lie, I was really enjoying it. And then it just stopped. He kind of pushed away, and she didn't know what was going on. And you got to remember, she's never been in this situation before. Yeah. This was her first sexual encounter as a female, which is pretty crazy to be down there in that kind of situation, or surrounded by all that, and then to be rejected like that could be, and then you've got to deal with the fact that you're a princess, and you've got to do the walk of shame through all these people that don't know who you are just yet.
Yeah.
But then she goes out the door, and she's spied.
Yeah.
The little boy finds who it is, and he goes and runs, and I'm thinking, where's he going? And then the next thing, he goes to Otto fucking Hightower.
Yeah.
Have a good evening. Good night, everybody, said Nadia.
Night, Nadia.
Good night, Nadia. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I know it's late. Have a good sleep. So yeah, he goes and tells Otto Hightower, the worst person, in my opinion, that could know this information.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Otto, okay, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. We will rewind to another scene, but did you notice the little boy went to visit Mysaria?
I guess I missed that part.
Okay, so when she's talking to Daemon in the bed, when Daemon's woken up and he's all groggy and she gives him that drink,
okay,
she stands up and she takes something off a little boy that comes down the stairs.
Ah.
That was payment from Otto Hightower.
Nice.
So she knows what Daemon. She knows what Daemon did, and she played it. She played Daemon.
Oh yeah.
So there's 3 now. We've got 3 bunches in this fight.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier on there might be 3.
Nice.
So yeah, that was something you probably missed, like you said. Yeah, the little boy.
I didn't see that.
Because at first I thought she gave the little boy something, but no. When I rewatched it, the little boy gave her payment from Otto.
Nice. Like I said, I was doing a couple different things, so there's a couple little bits and pieces I missed last night. So I'll definitely probably watch it again tomorrow if I have a chance.
So yeah, that was a scene that was later in the episode. Let's rewind back to when Otto finds out about what's happened. So Otto has to go to the king and do his duty as hand and tell him what has transgressed, what's happened.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't want that job. I wouldn't want to go and tell the king that your daughter's been a dirty slut and slept with her uncle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. But hey, it's his job and he goes and does it anyway. And Otto's like, not Otto, Viserys is like, what are you on about? Like, you come to me with this accusation of my daughter with no knowledge? Where did you get this information?
Yeah.
And he kind of says to him, I can't reveal my trusted sources, your grace.
Yeah.
And it's like, hang on a minute. So the king doesn't know anything about this. Like, what did you think to that? Like, he kind of admitted, like, oh, well, I'm working behind your back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And another part was when he said, you'll do anything to gain power. He said that as well. Bring up these accusations just so I, remove her and do this and that, and then you'll gain power at some point. And I think the king is starting to realize not to trust Hightower. And maybe he never has, but I think he has a track record of just looking out for himself. And if he can get someone else in trouble or, narc on somebody, he's going to. So
No, I do think that he trusted him at some point. I think in the beginning of all this, he trusted him, and there was years and years that Otto has been a faithful hand in the storyline and in the way the book's told. So he did trust him, and he has had reason to. But I think it's just down to the succession and the way that it's leading, because he knows that something's up with the king. Like they've been hinted at it for a couple of weeks now.
We all know something's going on there.
Yeah, something is going on. Yeah, that's true. So we're going to fast forward to Alicent discussing with Rhaenyra in the woods, in the tree area. She talks to her and she asks her about the accusations that have been made. And she seems very, very upset and very annoyed that she would choose to do this with her uncle. Did you get that vibe? Did you understand why she was annoyed?
I think it's because, she... I don't know how to put it. You could tell she was annoyed by it, by what happened. And I don't think it's that she did it with anybody. It's just that she did it with him, in the most part. But
and let's remember, guys, nothing happened. They touched and kissed, but nothing actually happened.
No.
Between Daemon and Rhaenyra. Yeah. So Alicent was annoyed with her, and there's a reason, and there is knowledge to why she was annoyed. So her family lineage is Hightowers. She's Alicent Hightower. Now the Hightowers as a family are based in Oldtown, and they have the seat. They have the highest seat in Oldtown. And Oldtown is where all the Maesters are based. That's where the head office is for the Maesters. So the Hightowers and the Maesters are hand in hand. They work together. They're very close. And the Maesters also believe in faith, and they believe in gods and the 7 gods and all this kind of stuff. So for you to go sleep with your brother or any of your family members, that goes against the religion and against the code. And she's a very religious, brought up family member. So that's why she was annoyed and disgusted. But what I want to run back to from the couple of episodes is Otto Hightower has no fucking right to say to the king or to Rhaenyra that this is disgusting. Nope. Because 2 episodes ago, he tried to palm her off with her 2-year-old brother. He said to the king at the day of the parade with the stag, why don't you marry her to the 2-year-old that's just been born? And that would strengthen that line. So why is incest okay if it's required of you, but not desired by you?
I think it's they don't want her to make the decision on her own. It's like I said, she kind of bucks the system. She questions authority. You can see that. And just the way she acts and talks and goes about her life. She still toes the line, but she's still bucking the system too. And I think that's a lot of it. He's afraid of where she's a loose cannon. Where's she gonna go next?
Yeah, but I was shouting at the screen. I was like, Otto, you're a hypocrite. Last week you were trying to make her marry her 2-year-old brother, and now because she slept with her older uncle, which is more acceptable in my eyes, then why is it an issue? I get why we all know it's an issue, because she gets to choose then, and that he doesn't have that choice.
Yeah.
So we find out that Alicent isn't happy with Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra promises her under every circumstance on her mother's memory she did not sleep with Daemon, and she runs off and she gets upset. Then we come to another fantastic scene. Like, wow. So she runs in the room. She runs back to her quarters and she runs in the room upset. And Criston Cole is standing there like the boring waste of space that he has been since episode 1, with hardly any lines and hardly any action. Like, give the guy something to freaking do.
Yep. Well, they gave it to him.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Charles. They gave it to him, or should I say she gave it to him. So he goes in, she pulls him in, she plays a little game with his helmet. He's trying to chase her, can't catch that rabbit, and she keeps pulling him away, and she does that quick movement where she kisses him. Now you got to remember, he's a sworn honourable knight of the King's Watch. So he has sworn an oath to take no lady, take no children, he can no longer have sex. He's taken those oaths. So for him breaking these, it's punishable by death. And who knows? We might see it, we might not. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, for anybody that isn't clicking onto what happened, Rhaenyra. No, I don't know. For me, I really enjoyed seeing, and I always do enjoy seeing, something about a princess removing a knight's armor. I've always enjoyed that in fairy tale stories and things like that. I don't know. It's just a good way to tell a romantic scene within a world that's so vile and so vicious. And, you know, I see it as she was in complete control in that situation. Because he is her knight. He has to do everything that she says. She's the queen. You know, you have to do it. So, down the line, was it consensual? Was it not consensual? That's where I'm thinking. I think it kind of was after he took the armor off, and then he just let go.
Yeah, I think he just finally said, okay, yeah.
And for a girl who's never done any of this before, she sure knew what to do. She was riding backwards dragons with over helix, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was like, wow, you're a very experienced young lady in the bedroom.
Yeah.
To say all you've done is walk through a brothel and seen other people at it.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
On quick. She catches on quick, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked, and I was thinking, damn, I wish I was Kristen Cole right now. But that's just Milky and his obsession with Game of Thrones. You know, there's a reason why I love it. But yeah, so what do you think's going to happen with that? He slept with her. Kristen Cole, the guy that's sworn to protect her, slept with her.
There's going to be more, of course, but I hope it continues on. You know, I hope.
You want the relationship to continue?
Yeah, I do, because you know,
it could be dangerous.
Yeah, it is, but you know, there again, the king said, "Hey, I want you to pick. You know, you pick your suitor." Yes, he gave an oath and everything, but I don't know. The king seems to like him. You know, there's no ill will there. It doesn't seem like so.
Okay, I put it to you: who would you like her to see? In your opinion, who would you prefer to see her with, Daemon or Kristen?
Kristen.
Okay, in your opinion, who do you think would be a better suitor?
I'm still going with Kristen.
Okay.
Yeah. And
okay.
I've said that since episode 1, that there was vibes there between the two that this is going to go someplace. And if it ends next week, guys, I'll put my hand down. You know, but that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, I see your reasoning, and I see your understanding of the situation. I would like to disagree. I'm going to take all knowledge away from what I know. I personally, if I was a new person to this story, would like to see her with Daemon. I think that the chemistry between them, it's been built that way for us to want to feel that thing. I think.
Yeah.
You know, from the beginning of putting the necklace around her neck and basically claiming her as a young girl. And I don't know, I just like seeing them together. I think that when they're both on screen together, it's gold.
Yeah.
When they're both there, it's gold. He's carrying the show just as much as she is. Like, I'm not so fussed about the king. Like, yeah, I know he's the king and he's a cool actor, but the storyline I don't think is going to be that much to do with him anymore.
And really, yeah, I've noticed that since episode 1, his time on screen has just dwindled. Mm-hmm. Unless he's drunk or in the bathtub. That's about the only time we see him anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Daemon then returns back to King's Landing. He returns to the throne room. Daemon does. And he's dragged in by guards. Says the king wants to see you right now, because the king has to question him about what he's heard about his daughter. And Daemon doesn't deny it. He says, and what? And what I loved about this show is twice in this episode they said the name of the show in the show that the show is about, and I giggle when things like that happen.
Mm-hmm.
They said House of the Dragon, and I was like, oh, they said it. And they said it twice in this episode, which was cool. But yeah, Daemon, what did you think to Daemon not denying it? Did you think he was going to deny it? Do you think was he that kind of person?
I didn't think he was going to deny it because
she did. She was instantly, no, I didn't do it.
I think she actually feels maybe weird about it. Where Daemon's like, whatever, and he knows too that most likely the king's going to believe what he says. Where if he lied about it, there's too many little eyes that saw everything that went on. He knows his girlfriend probably knows, or whatever she is, what happened. So
Mysario, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't think he would, because he was kind of just cocky about it, like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do?
So he says to the king, marry me to Rhaenyra, strengthen the bloodline for the House of the Dragon, and I will return it into the glory that it once was. Yeah. Now, I want that. That's what I want as a Game of Thrones fan or a House of Dragon fan coming into this. That's what I want, and I think that would be fantastic. But Daemon's already married. Daemon's got a wife over in the Vale, the bronze bitch that he likes to call her, that we haven't seen on screen yet.
No.
And I'm questioning whether he will, because in the books she is very, very little, and things happen in the background of the storyline. It's like 2 lines, and then you realize something happened, and it's like, oh, okay, and that's it, So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
But then we're going to fast forward to the last 2 parts of the episode, and they were quite poignant and strong. Viserys the king fires Otto as his hand. He tells him all the truths. He points out that he's been worming his way closer and closer to the Iron Throne since the days of Jaehaerys, when Jaehaerys in the Great Council chose him as hand. And it's just crazy to think that he took the pin away from him, and he says, you need to go. You've wormed your way too much.
Yeah.
What did you think? That was shocking, right?
It was, but I thought I felt it coming, especially when he came in and he didn't want to believe what had happened between Rhaenyra and his brother. Of course, who would want to believe that? And I think he just saw kind of the writing on the wall that, like you said, he's just been worming his way towards that seat, and he'll do anything he has to get in that seat.
Yeah, literally anything. He pimped his daughter out.
Yeah, that's all that matters to that man, is getting in that seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the king finally realized that.
So where do you think he's going now? Where do you think he goes now? What's his storyline? He's not the hand of the king anymore, so what's he going to do?
I don't know.
They're going to have to do something with him, aren't they? Because he's a very good character, and a lot of people love him.
Yeah, he's going to turn heel for sure. Is my opinion.
So you think he's going to go and join Corlys?
I hope so.
He never liked that dude. He never liked that dude, though, did he?
He didn't, but they're 2 from the same cloth, if that makes sense. In my opinion.
They're against the king.
They're both against the king. They both try to pick their daughters out.
They both have pieces in their game. They both have prominent pieces within the game of chess, Yeah.
They both have skin in the game for sure. Yeah.
Like we didn't see Corlys this much. I don't even think we've seen him once this episode, did we?
No.
We didn't see his wife. We didn't see the boy. But we've seen him. Maybe you've seen a flashback when Rhaenyra was told that she might need to marry into the Corlys family.
Yeah.
Because the king told her again about the dagger and said that there was prophecy again, and he explained all that. And then he said, look, I'm going to need you to marry the Valyrian boy to strengthen this bond that we have. And she fires back at him, okay, but you have to fire Otto as the hand because he spied on me.
Yeah.
So they're kind of working together now as a father and daughter duo in the monarchy. And felt like he put his working trousers on this morning.
Yeah, it's like he all of a sudden manned up and he's like, okay, I'm going to finally do something. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that could be his last poignant thing that he does. We don't know. We're gonna have to find out next week.
I hate to say it, but it's kind of looking that way.
Mm-hmm.
Something
And
is
yeah,
definitely going on there for sure. So.
another thing I want to talk about real quickly is when the sex scenes were happening between Kristen Cole and Rhaenyra, and then it was cutting to Alicent and the King. Now they were two very polar opposite scenes.
Oh yeah.
Like she didn't want to be there. I was surprised to find out that they weren't even sleeping in the same room.
Yeah.
He called for the Queen to come to his chambers, didn't he?
Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
Kenneth. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Kenneth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was shocked with that, and it was quite a cool way of showing a really sexy scene and a really dull scene, but also with the subject of sex.
But that put just the icing on the cake from when Rhaenyra said, "You're just here to make babies at this point. You're just here to produce kids."
Did you see all the sores on his back and all over his body?
Yeah. There's something seriously wrong there.
So I'm claiming from I did in episode 1. I think it's grayscale, where you turn to stone slowly. I do think it's that. So yeah, now we're going to go on to the last scene of the episode, which was very good in my opinion. And people can take it how they want to take it, but the Maester came in. One of the Maesters came into Rhaenyra's room and hands her a drink, or a potion, you would say. And she's a bit confused as to what it is. And the Maester says to her that it will rid you of any unwanted transgressions that may have occurred. So basically, it's an abortion drink. It's a tablet.
Plan B, yeah.
Yeah, it's Plan B. Now, we don't even know if she is pregnant, but what it was it was a very manipulative tool to find out whether she was lying in the first place or not. Because if she drinks the drink, you know she had sex.
Yeah.
If she doesn't drink the drink, she's going to show as pregnant, maybe.
Yeah.
And then you know she lied anyway. So it was a fantastic piece to play. Who sent it? Now, I explained earlier that Otto Hightower and the Maesters are like this. Mm-hmm. So I believe Otto Hightower sent that drink to her. And then we'll know that he'll then have the knowledge as to whether something happened or not.
Yeah. So you think it's Hightower that sent it?
Yeah. Well, through the Maesters, because I think anything that the Maesters do is ordered by Hightower. Because they are so well connected. They are the noble family that live in Old Town, and Old Town is run by the Maesters. And all the Maesters, when they're old, they go to the Citadel in Old Town to work in the library of Maesters when they're too old.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I believe. I think Otto sent that drink. I don't think it's poison. I don't think it's going to harm her. I just think it was obvious. She drinks it. Well, we know she definitely had sex, because that's what it's for. If she doesn't drink it, if she turns out pregnant, there's your answer.
Exactly.
But then you could go down the line, if, hypothetically thinking forward, if he marries Valerian's boy and has children with him, there's always going to be that questioning doubt as to, is it the Valerian's boy or is it Kristen Cole's boy?
Yep.
So, that could be a real good question to explore down the line.
That's for sure.
But yeah. And then the episode went to black, and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to also point out in the credits at the beginning, I don't know if you watched them.
No.
Do you watch the credits or do you fast forward?
I usually fast forward through the credits.
Okay. Did you get the grasp of what the credits were, though? They're a family tree and the bloodline of the family tree.
Yeah.
So they do change every week. And this time you could see the change was 2 more streams of blood coming off Alicent's line, which meant that she'd had the baby that she was pregnant with last episode, and she'd had the future king that was 2 years old when we met him in the episode 3. So that was just that extra added info that they'd added into the intro for people to try and find.
Nice.
But I'm very thingy with my eyes on that one. I'll go through it and see what's changed. So, Charles, I'm going to ask you the same questions I ask you every week. I want you to score this episode out of 10.
8.5.
Okay.
8.5, 9. I'm right there on the which one to go with, but I found it very informative as to some more backstory, which I think not that we were lacking it, but we need to continually build that backstory. So we know, because like we said, we're jumping ahead a couple years every time. So we kind of need to know what's going on, what has happened since we last saw him. I'm kind of getting used to the battle scenes, so it's kind of we didn't have many of those. Just a little kid killing the big guy, but which was pretty funny, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And you are a red-blooded male, so I'm sure you enjoy seeing women's boobs and things on screen sometimes.
Yep.
You don't have to answer that. It's just me.
You're right.
Sorry if any beloved partners are watching. But no, yeah, I enjoyed it for that reason.
Yeah,
it was definitely a Game of Thrones episode for me. So 8.5.
Yeah, I really liked. Also, I liked, kind of like you said, where we kept jumping back and forth between the two scenes with Rhaenyra and Alicent, and that showed a lot right there. Just this one's enjoying herself, living her life, or that one's just like, oh, whatever, let's do this again. Let me pop another one out for you. And Alicent knew what she was getting into. She's been around it her whole life. She knows what she's getting into. But now I think maybe she's rethinking. She's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Sometimes. So.
Yeah, and I think she also has. I think she might also have a little secret crush on Criston Cole too. And I think that could weaken the friendship between her and Rhaenyra if that information is ever found out. So yeah, something maybe we could look forward to, or maybe we don't. I'm going to give this episode, and are you guys ready for this, a 10 out of 10. That was the best episode yet since the show started. I said at the beginning in my little monologue thing that this show gave me, what did I say? This show gave me backstabbing, betrayals, marriage alliances, revenge seekers, sex workers, little birds, and everything that makes Game of Thrones so great. Was all in this one episode. An hour and 5 minutes of pure Game of Thrones bliss. Nice. And if anybody wants to take that as a snippet, because that was fantastic. I don't know, 10 out of 10, and I don't think I'm going to change it. I've watched it a couple of times. It gets better every time I watch it. It's only getting better. I cannot wait for next week. Yeah,
I'm the same way, and like we've said every week, I was not a Game of Thrones fan. But now this show, I can't wait till Sunday night. Unfortunately, here in a couple of weeks, I got to work nights, so I'm going to miss it. So I'm going to have to watch it during the day. So, that's going to suck. I'll catch it. So.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that, because some of the information that I'm about to share is going to be quite handy for that as well, because I'm going to stop doing the live streams on a Sunday night because it's too late for me over in the UK. By the time the show finishes, it's 3 p.m. It's 3 a.m. And then for me to go live and talk for an hour, and I have neighbors, and so I'm pushing it to Monday. And I'm going to go live on Mondays and talk about it. And it's going to give more people a chance to watch the episode. For example, like yourself, Charles, if you say you're working nights now, you'll be able to watch it when you get home or the next day and still have a chance to possibly come on the live and talk about it and stuff like that. And it also makes it so that I don't have to be so quiet when I'm talking. I can be a bit more energetic and a bit more, rambunctious, they could say. A big word for me that I probably don't know how to spell. So yeah, Mondays are now going to be the day that I do the review breakdown for the live shows. It'll be the day after. And Tuesdays, I have the Horseman Lives. And then this Wednesday, you've seen him in the chat tonight, Headless Ned Stark, Terry. We are going to do a collaboration style live this week. And we're going to go live on Wednesday at 9 Eastern. So that'll be like 1 o'clock in the morning for me. But it'll be on a Wednesday, not so much on a weekend. Which isn't an issue because I do Tuesday night anyway. So we'll be definitely looking at that. So I would like people to definitely stay tuned for that. I will share a link in the chat. I think Headless Ned Stark has already got the live set up and ready, so I can set a link for that and people can go and schedule it if they like. It's live in 46 hours from now.
Nice.
And Charles, I want to thank you again for being here today. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to post that link in the chat there. So that link should take you to the live stream that Headless Ned Stark has created, that me and him will be breaking down. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking down the show as a whole so far. So episode 1 to episode 4. We're not going to be breaking it down in super detail like I do with my shows here, where I go through each scene, kind of. We're just going to break it down, probably be like an hour or so, and we're just going to talk about our thoughts as Game of Thrones fans and how we would like to see the story progress a little bit more, and whether we're happy with what we've seen or not. I would personally think that House of the Dragon has saved the franchise, or in my opinion, it's saved the TV show aspect of the franchise, because the last season of Game of Thrones they kind of screwed it. They kind of screwed it and everybody hated it, and it just got the disaster that it got. And I think House of Dragon is now bringing it back up again. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And as I said, I think if it pulled somebody like yourself, Charles, to want to watch the show after the series is finished, then I think that would be cool. Yeah. If you were like, Ryan, I might actually give it a second chance.
I might, yeah. Especially with wintertime coming up. Hopefully.
Winter is coming.
Winter's coming.
You just made me play that one in, didn't you? Okay, well, we're coming up to an hour, and I want to thank you again, Charles, for being here. I want to thank everybody that's been in the stream tonight. Yeah, we've been up to like 6 or 7 viewers, and I really appreciate it. I know it's late, and it was random. I didn't give anybody notice. But now people know every Monday without fail. Stay tuned to my channel because we will go live. Winter is coming, says Headless Ned Stark. Definitely. So stay tuned for tomorrow night with the Horsemen on the Stable Clips channel.
Yep.
And it's going to be one of the Horsemen's birthday tomorrow. So definitely come by and hang out if you can get the chance. 8 o'clock Central over on the Stable Clips channel. And then Wednesday, come and join me and Headless Ned Stark and everyone else that might want to turn up to talk about episodes 1 to 4 as a whole.
Very cool.
I've been Ryan. My friend over here has been Charles from Poppy, Missouri. Thank you very much, Charles. Do you want to let anybody know what you've got coming up this week?
Tomorrow maybe, or Wednesday. Sorry, tomorrow's Tuesday. Wednesday, we're gonna take a deep dive look at our Blacklight pops. Little spoiler: is Blacklight the new Chrome? We'll see. And then Friday, we'll have another video. I told Ryan earlier, Comic Book Shop is closing. They're having a sale Saturday. Hopefully they'll let me in early, and we'll take a look at that, hopefully. They're acting like they're not going to. I bet they do. And then Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, we have our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We actually have 5 giveaways we're doing that night. We're not doing a hashtag on the video. We're not doing anything, follow anybody, nothing like that. We're doing StreamYard giveaways, so you have to be present to win. If you're international, we'll work something out, maybe an Amazon gift card or something in the price of the product. And then I don't even know where it is. I got to eat this thing, so yeah. So,
that's the one chip challenge, everybody. Charles is crazy, and he's going to be doing the one chip challenge on Saturday.
Yep. So come on by. I'm going to post the live tonight for Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central. Anybody's come on over, hang out. We'll be on there a couple hours.
I'll be there. I'll be there on the panel if there's links around. I'll be there, keeping you all entertained while Charles is suffering with the hot, crazy stuff.
There you go. I'll need some panel that way. When I go to throw the chip up, someone else. So, thanks for having me, and I cannot wait till next Sunday.
Yeah, neither can I. And I think we might be getting a wedding. So let's see.
Nice.
We could be getting a wedding next week, as far as I'm aware. So that should be fun, because if you know Game of Thrones,
weddings are a good thing.
Yeah, guys, again, I've been Ryan. This has been Charles from Poppy, Missouri. I want to thank everybody. We've been going just for over an hour, and you've all consistently been here watching me. Thank you very much. I love you all. Dracarys.